Impact.
New talents, experts, and professionals in different fields.
Different topics that contribute knowledge to society.
And what's going on here in the Sultan.
It's Impact. Hosted by Tariq Al-Warwani.
Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and Sundays at 9 a.m.
Every week on the Nation Station.
Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, and welcome to Impact, a weekly edutainment and knowledge sharing program aired live specifically to share with you topics that contribute knowledge to the society. Every week, Impact hosts and invites guests that are experts, professionals, and leaders from the field that bring wealth of knowledge to you. Impact also highlights and promotes talents in the country that contribute knowledge and success to the nation. This program, ladies and gentlemen, is a weekly session that I will have with you every Tuesday at 5 p.m. I'm your host, Tariq Al-Barwani, along with our studio engineer, DJ Safia, for an hour bringing you free knowledge at your doorsteps on Oman Radio FM 90.4. Okay, stay tuned after this music break for today's very interesting topic and very interesting personality.
New talents, experts, and professionals in different fields.
Different topics that contribute knowledge to society.
And what's going on here in the Sultan.
It's Impact. Hosted by Tariq Al-Warwani.
Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and Sundays at 9 a.m.
Every week on the Nation Station.
Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Impact. I'm your host, Tariq Al-Barwani, along with our studio engineer, DJ Safia, with you here today live on Oman Radio FM 90.4. NCP, the National CEO Program under the patronage of the Diwan of Royal Court, was launched a few years ago. The question is, what is it? How does it work? And how can you be part of it? NCP, ladies and gentlemen, is the National CEO Program, an initiative that was launched by the Public-Private Partnership Task Force, Sharaka, and it is the first of its kind in the Sultanate. The initiative goal is to develop the next generation of private sector Omani leaders and executives. The National CEO Program is designed to address the private sector's emerging needs for talented business leaders and executives who are empowered to meet the challenges of the marketplace and embrace the opportunities that the Sultanate's economy will offer. Now, this exclusive program is founded on global best practice and the latest leadership thinking and learning methodologies. Now, who could better explain to you all that you need to know than my esteemed guest today, Mr. Richard Kemp, the Director of National CEO Program. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation to speak about the NCP program today, Mr. Richard.
Thank you, Tariq. It's great to be here.
The pleasure is ours. In fact, first and foremost, let me congratulate you and the team for launching the program. And indeed, this kind of initiative is a need of the hour to build and create the next generation leaders.
I can only agree.
MashaAllah. Richard, where does the NCP come from?
I think the idea behind the NCP, it comes from this the Sharaka initiative.
Okay.
And the idea there was to really start building new capability in the Sultanate to move away from dependence on oil and gas, if you like, commodities out of the ground, to real human talent, to innovation, to knowledge, to idea creation. And I think where we are is that this is the third cohort that we're recruiting, and we're on a learning journey ourselves. Okay. We take people on a leadership learning developmental journey. Okay. But where we are is that our first batch, if you like, the pioneers, prove the proposition that we can create innovation in Oman.
Okay.
A new community of business leaders really capable of innovation.
MashaAllah.
The second, who I think of as our pathfinders, have proven that we can do that at a big scale. We can look at a sector issue and solve problems, if you like, and we can look out into the global economy and start to take value there.
Okay.
And so what we're looking for in the third cohort, which we're thinking of as the game changers, are people that we can take into that global economy and really start to create a new value at large scale very quickly for Oman.
Okay, mashallah. Tell me one thing. I've just noticed that this is your third cohort, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then from the first and second, it was different, is it? The theme is different?
The theme is the same. It's all around leadership. What does it take to be a global leader?
Okay.
I think what's happening is that the global economy is moving very quickly.
Okay.
And the leaders that are creating real value or delivering real value in the global economy are different now than they were a short while ago.
Okay.
We're using all the latest research of IMD. Our learning partner is the International Management School in Lausanne.
Okay.
And we're using all of their kind of methodology, their research to say, what is it that drives the successful companies that are changing the way in which the global economy works. So think Uber, think Google, think these kind of big digital global giants.
MashaAllah.
How can we learn from them in ways that say we can take all of that and create a new generation of leadership in Oman that can use all of that and make Oman, if you like, a home of global business practice.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Tell me one thing. What has it delivered so far, the program?
Well, we have new businesses that have started out of NCP 1, out of cohort 1.
Okay.
We have business leaders there who are now sharing their practice, sharing training, sharing development, really raising the game within a sector within Oman. Okay. We have new businesses that are rising. We have hundreds of people who are in employment because of new jobs that have either been directly created or indirectly created.
Okay.
We have business plans that say that job creation is going to grow over the next 2 to 3 years as the scale increases. In NCP2, the game changes, the cohort, the kind of pathfinders. We've got people really looking at how do we develop downstream industries in the mining sector. How do we create big infrastructure around the port of Duqm? How do we bring power to Duqm? So people are really looking at big strategic initiatives and saying, how can we practically deliver this? Okay. We're all about practical delivery.
In fact, having myself attended a number of courses, and the way I see the different that NCP is doing is that the practical part that you have, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And also seeing that once these the participant attend the program, when they come back, you sort of try and see what are they doing from the learning. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So my role is all around saying, are we creating impact? We're not here to deliver theory. We're here to see real jobs come into the real world. We're here to see organizations, businesses say, it doesn't matter how turbulent the market is getting. It doesn't matter what's happening with the oil price. We're able to deliver value in these times, and actually, in a way, if the market is getting more complex, that's good news because we're able to innovate, and so we're able to take value in a way that someone who is slower, someone that can't innovate, starts to lose value. So we're at this shift into the innovation mindset, the innovation economy.
Okay, mashallah. Leadership can be specific or can be generic in terms of specific leading an initiative or a specific industry. Or being generic by nature.
Yeah.
How is this program being created? What's the focus?
It's a really good question. The focus isn't absolutely on Oman, absolutely on the national agenda of Oman. So this is a program which is very much geared to the practical reality of Oman. And then the question is, what if you like, what are the skills that are going to lead Oman into this new global positioning? So there we have a very specific set of skills in mind. You know, what does it take to create a new organization in the digital economy? Underneath that, we then look at what does it take for an Omani to create value? And I think there we're appealing to some very traditional values in Oman, which are kind of a humble leadership, a real kind of engagement with other people, really listening to what others say, really taking everything in your stride. And then we're saying, so that's great, that's all there. What are the tools that enable you to take all of that and then start to become best in category, if you like, in a global situation?
Okay, mashallah. Tell me one thing. We have a number of leadership programs here in Oman, locally being created, and some leadership programs that are done abroad as well.
Yeah.
So let's take another example, is the MBA, which is most of the people who are in specialist role end up taking courses like MBA in order to build up their leadership skills and learn about the different businesses.
Yeah.
How is NCP any different or unique?
So the NCP is unique because it is, I think, as far as I'm aware, it really is the first kind of program geared at the national level that's looking across the entire economy and is really moving from the idea of an economy based on commodities to this thing of digital talent, if you like, technology, human talent, innovation. I don't think anything on this scale has been done before. And the value of the program lies precisely in this diversification idea. So we're taking people and saying it doesn't matter where you come from in the economy, it doesn't matter what your sector of expertise is. We want you to be able to identify new opportunity and literally to kind of leap into that new space. You're going to make that space deliver. No one else. It's all entirely up to you. So we're about giving the skills, the leadership, insight that says we can do that. We can't give people the vision, and we can't tell people how to behave or what to do. All we can do is say there are some tools, there are some principles. You have to go and really shape your own leadership. You have to create your own voice, and you have to be totally appropriate to your community. So all of this is about saying, if you look at the business culture, we want to change elements of the business culture so that you can go out and get that global value, but by tapping into the deep culture and value system of Oman. Does that make sense?
Oh, indeed it is.
And then just to answer your question about the MBA is much more about a technical skill set. And we're assuming that we're not here to teach people things like project management. We're here to say, in a leadership context, if you're going to create something that is entirely new, if you're thinking out of the box, you've got this a vision that says we really can do something that no one else has done before, you're going to have to marshal people that have all of these different skills. You have to understand them, but you can't be trapped by them. You've got to kind of stand above and say, so I can see all of these and I can harness all of them, but I'm not confined by any single one of them. And I think that that's a bit that people struggle with, because we're much more used to the idea of MBAs than the idea and kind of academic leadership. How am I being assessed on this? This is all about, so let go of that. You have to deliver its behavior and its impact.
Okay, awesome. Now tell me one thing. We've got the two cohorts that have already been done, the NCP1, NCP2. Was there any evolution in terms of learning or in terms of tools that have been used, or has it been the same thing?
It's another very good question. The learning design changes because we get feedback. We want to get people to the greatest level of skill, if you like, the greatest level of delivery in the shortest possible time. So we're always learning, we're always taking feedback, we're always reorganizing things to say what's the shortest path to that objective. Inside that, everything is then pretty much the same, because there are certain tools that we know deliver certain value. How do we get those across as quickly as possible? The area where I guess where you see the most change is in the project work, because the projects are about applying everything that you learn in a way that says, I may be doing some of this for the first time. I'm doing this in a kind of safe way. If I master that here, then I can go and do this either in my own organization or my own sector, or I can jump and do this thing in a completely new arena. And the scale and scope of the project, I think, it evolves, because each time we prove a proposition, we say, no, we know we can do that. We can build on it. We don't have to feel anxious about that. How do we keep building? So the scale and the impact of what we're doing, I hope, is increasing each year.
Okay, inshallah. Now, NCP as a program, I can see and feel it is quite unique.
Yeah.
In the sense of it has been designed for Oman,
Yeah.
and then also you're more into the practical than only focusing on the theoretical.
Totally practical.
Yeah. I would like to know one thing. Is this NCP only an initiative done for Oman, or is it there for UAE, or is it there for any other countries in the world, or is it an Omani?
This is purely Omani. So I actually think it's the most radical innovation in business education in years. And again, it's interesting. It's very quiet. This is Oman. I think the impact of this will be soon appreciated in a much wider way. But I think it is the single most interesting national agenda initiative, if you like, since the evolution of Singapore or the evolution of a country like Estonia. You know, these are countries that have moved themselves on the global map. Oman is moving itself on the global map. No one has yet noticed, but they very soon will do.
Inshallah, inshallah. With people like yourself and your leadership, inshallah, and guidance, that's what we hope to have, inshallah.
We live in hope.
Tell me one thing. When it comes to the NCP program, the modules that the programs that is offered, the duration, the kind of commitment. Tell us about it.
So we're kind of working in the academic year cycle because that's how people are used to operating. The program starts in September and finishes in May. There's 6 modules in that time. The first is in Lausanne in September. We then have a module in Oman in October. We're going to go to Estonia this year in December. We then have another module in Oman in January. Then we go back to Lausanne in March, and then we'll complete in May. And because this is our first century, if you like, this is where the original idea of having, if you have 100 people, business leaders, who have the toolkit of the new economy, we then should start to see a big effect. So we're having a capstone event in May 2018, which really says we should be able to show very concretely the achievement of these people. And we should have people in, if you like, all around saying, we're also now moving, we have become innovative, our sector is open, we're thinking about the global economy, and we really start to see the seeds of Oman positioned within that digital innovation technology space.
Yeah. Tell us about the history of this program. I mean, how did this idea come out to have the NCP program?
I think it came about through a really interesting collaboration. One, obviously, within Oman between the through the Sharaka, the idea of government and private enterprise really collaborating. And I think then the Diwan of Royal Court, who were part of that, really being rigorous in what they do, really going out and saying, if we're serious about this, how are we going to design something and bring something to Oman that hasn't really been done before? So they reached out to Henley Business School as a starting point to say, we have something in mind, how could that be shaped? So and I kind of have my roots in Henley, so we're about the architecting of a new kind of learning design, then saying who are the partners who could really deliver this. So there are a number of strategic partnerships, of which IMD are the learning delivery partner. We have a top recruitment partner, and we've had different, if you like, strategic advisors along the way. So it's all about going out and getting the best possible input in a way that says the moment that we've mastered that, we move on. We're not creating dependency, we're creating independence. We're sharing the learning, we're spreading the learning, and we're really taking, if you like, the business community in Oman into a journey which says, if you want to achieve something, and remember, we're all about delivery, it's all about hands-on, practical results, then there are certain ways of doing it. Let's prove the proposition, let's share the toolkit, and let's keep on improving.
Okay. About a year is the duration of the program.
So 9 months, from
9 months.
September to May.
Yeah, and you said they've got 6 modules that have been covered. Could you kindly share briefly.
Yeah, so the 37 days, that's the learning time spread over those 6 modules. We require participants to have a letter from their organisation, or if they're the CEO of an SME, a letter from themselves, saying the organisation is committed to giving this time, because we do demand a great deal from people. They have to understand they have to go through the learning process. They have to understand the tools, and then apply them. So on top of those 37 days, we think there are another 30 odd days given to the project, to project delivery. So in total, we're saying between 60 and 70 days. You absolutely have to be ready to give that. You will get a huge return on that investment of your time, because you're immediately equipped to start bringing back innovation into your organization, innovation into the sector, and you're free to move at the end of this process into anywhere where you see opportunity in the global economy.
Okay, awesome. How many people have applied since the inception of the program?
Overall, I think we're now in the low thousands.
Wow.
So it's generated a lot of interest. We're very keen that we now really start using that to also feed back, if you like, business improvement processes. What I can tell you is that each application, each year, we're seeing, if you like, people learning from the previous application, sharing information. So we're seeing already a gain, if you like, in the way in which people are approaching this, and the readiness, the preparedness with which they come through the process. So it's all about step-by-step improvement.
How many have been selected out of the 1,000?
Well, 65 so far, 35 are coming. So the original idea was over these 3 cohorts we'd have 100. And then the question is, what comes next? We're absolutely sure that we're building a business leadership community that is enabling people for hyperchange. If you think about Tanfeed, you think of all of the initiatives that are going on. Oman has need for these new business skills across the economy. The question then will be, how do we harness all of this? And I think that's an open question at the moment. What comes next? But it will be about, if you like, hyper entrepreneurs. It will be about people that say, I can move into any sector and I can deliver, and this word deliver rather than create, I can deliver value.
Awesome, mashallah. Tell me one thing. Normally, when people attend courses, for instance, MBA, whatever courses that are out there are exams that people need to take. And there's, so you either fail or pass. Tell us about the NCP.
We don't have exams. We have engagement. What we want to see is that people are committed. They're coming. They're giving their time. We want to see the practical impact of that in terms of their behaviour, because leadership is about behaviour. And as I said, my job is about impacts in the economy. We want to say, where is that showing in delivering real value, new jobs, innovation, things that didn't exist before, that are, if you like, improving not just economic performance, but social value. So people are living a better quality of life, as well as delivering a better quality of business. All of these things go hand in hand.
And how was the level of engagement of the participants?
It's
fantastic. All of them superstars?
Yeah, the answer is yes. What I can say is it's one of these things that is its own good. The more engagement you give, the more engagement you get. And we're building every time you add more talented individuals into this community, the whole community gains. So it's a never-ending journey. It's an ever-rising tide. All of it is beneficial.
MashaAllah, indeed. Thank you very much, Mr. Richard Kemp, for sharing with us the overview of the NCP program. We're going to take a quick break and revert back with our guest on the NCP experience.
Thank you.
Impact. New talents, experts, and professionals in different fields.
Different topics that contribute knowledge to society.
And what's going on here in the Sultan.
It's Impact, hosted by Tariq Al-Barwani.
Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and Sundays at 9 a.m.
Every week on the Nation Station.
Welcome back to Impact, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host Tariq Hilal Al-Barwani, along with our studio engineer DJ Safiya, with you here today live on Oman Radio FM 90.4. Our subject today, ladies and gentlemen, is about the NCP, the National CEO Program, and our guest is Mr. Richard Kemp, the Program Director of this fantastic and impactful initiative we have here in Oman. We now have one of the participants of the program, Mr. Ahmed Al-Shaybani, with us here on air. Ahmed, salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan.
How are you doing today?
Oh, fine, great.
It's great, in fact, to have you on air with us today.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Richard is with us here on air.
All right. Hi, Richard.
Hello.
Ahmed,
Yep.
tell us your experience of taking part in the NCP program.
Well, I was one of the lucky ones who've been selected for the first coherent of NCB program.
Okay.
And to be honest, it's one of the greatest experience I have in my life, both in terms of the learning opportunity and also the networking.
MashaAllah.
Being one of those who selected, I think I've managed to see great talent from Oman across the private sector and managed to also build the relationship, the network, the support, and also learn a lot from the program itself.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Ahmed, tell me one thing. Have
Sure.
you attended any other program apart from the NCP program before?
Well, yes, because I'm working in Petroleum Development Oman BDO, so part of our career development, we've been going through different training, and actually one of the things that we've been also working abroad, part of BDO's program.
Okay.
So I've attended a number of development leadership courses along with technical courses, both locally and overseas.
MashaAllah. If you were to tell me the unique aspects of this program, what would it be compared to all the other courses that you have attended before?
I think two things. First of all is the local content of the program itself, talking about developing people, developing elements specific for Oman, looking to the strategies of Oman development.
Okay.
The other element of it, bringing different people from across private sector. So we had people from the banking sector, from oil and gas, from all across the private sector. And the investment part, so it helps a lot in building this relationship and the network within the Omani talents across different industries.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Tell us one thing. What practically has changed as a result of you attending this program?
One fundamental change for me is that being more aware of the national agenda and the in-country value for what Oman is aiming for in terms of creating jobs for Omanis, promoting more of the local content. So that's actually I'm now putting in practice in my current job and making sure that takes the precedence on setting targets for my project, which I'm currently managing this.
MashaAllah. So you have, by attending this program, and the different learning, which I understand the practical learning, you are now able to utilize those tools into your current working condition. Is that right?
Exactly, and also help me to see the basically how other sectors are going. So I'm working on oil and gas in my career, but then I did a project part of the NCB in logistics. So it helped me to see what's the Oman logistic strategy, how they're developing it, and how we could be helping in that front, basically in each one in its different working streams.
MashaAllah. NCP 3 is now open for people to apply. Why would you recommend anyone to attend NCP 3? And would you recommend anyone?
Oh, definitely. I've been approached by so many people asking about the same question, and I said for everybody who meets the criteria, please go and apply. Again, besides the great learning experience, it's the networking, is knowing also other people within Oman who have been doing great work across different sectors. And my recommendation is for people who really meet the criteria, they go and apply, and then just see how it will be a great learning experience like what we had basically.
Inshallah. Thank you very, very much, Ahmed, and we wish you the very, very best, inshallah, in all that you do and your leadership as well.
Thanks a lot, and thanks again for having me.
Barakallahu fi. Thank you very much.
Bye.
this is very, very interesting interview we've had with one of your participants, Ahmed Ashibani. And in fact, I do know a number of people who have attended this program, and they spoke very, very high about the program and about yourself as well. They speak big,
thank you very much.
Richard, as well. So this is amazing, and indeed is something that people should take an opportunity to participate and take an opportunity to apply and be part of it in order for us to have better leaders in our country, inshallah.
Yes.
Tell me one thing, Richard. What kind of people is in fact NCP looking for? And when you say a caliber, their qualifications, etc.
Yeah, so the what we're looking for are people who can learn in English, because the program is delivered in English. Okay. We're looking for people with a degree so that we know that they have the, if you like, the capability to formally learn. We're looking for people with 8 years management experience so that we know that they understand how to organize a process, people, or a resources, and we're looking for people from either the SME sector or the large company sector. We're not so interested in people in the micro environment, because although there's a lot of talent there, people in the micro environment aren't so used to, if you like, working at scale. And we have this idea that we really want to create this impact, immediate impact. So we're looking for people who, if you like, are in employment in an organisation that is 100,000 Omani Rial a year or more. Practically 27 is the earliest starting point, because if you have 8 years experience and a degree, if you just do the kind of process maths, it says around 27 is probably where you have all of the elements that we can practically bring together to use.
Okay. Now, to make it easy for yourselves as the ones that are running the program and people who are reviewing the applicants and so on, now what kind of people should it apply to the program?
Anyone from across the economy. What we're looking for are people with vision. We're looking for people who say, I know my career journey, I know how I got here. We're looking for people that say, and I want to make a jump, I want to springboard from this point into a new place, either in the economy, a new place in the organisation, or I want to create new innovation. And we're really focused this time on saying, how do you practically use technology in new ways to create new value, to deliver new value? We're very interested in SME, people from the SME environment, because they are used to moving very quickly. We're very interested in people that have a kind of learning to learn experience. PDO is one of those companies that generates learning to learn. So people who come out of environments where we know the company culture has been about learning, they are very important to us. People that have an experience of delivering innovation, they're very important to us. It's really everyone. As long as you're Omani, you're over 27, you've got 8 years experience, and you have vision, you speak English, you can learn in English. It's the vision that we're looking for. We really want to get at this talent pool with people who say, we see the future differently, we need a bit of help to get there.
Okay. What are the challenges that you have encountered in the program? I'm looking at two ways.
Yeah.
From the program side of the fence, and also the participant. What have you seen the challenges that they have encountered?
So I think one is the stepping into learning. It takes people a while to realise that there really aren't exams. There is no formal assessment in the sense of academic assessment. The only assessment is, are you delivering value? Can we see the impact? It takes people a while to realise that actually the diversity that we talk about is the diversity of the Omani economy, and therefore we really are looking for talent from across the economy, from every level, from every sector. I think that's the first really big learning for people. Talent is in many surprising places. Talent doesn't necessarily look like you.
True.
So just taking people through all of that and then getting them to the point where they say, actually the real trait of a leader is that he or she can work with anyone. He or she is able to bring people along with them. They say, we have a vision, we know what's out there, we don't necessarily have a detailed plan, that's not so important, but we know where we're going, we get how you can contribute to that, and we, if you like, create this engagement where people say, I feel valued, I know that my contribution matters, and if we work together well, we're really going to achieve, we can make a difference.
MashaAllah, this program is interesting. This initiative is impactful and it is unique, and no doubt. We've learned about the program, about the modules, the duration, the commitment that is required, and who are you targeting and what are you looking for. Now, the next step is, I'm sure a lot of people who are listening to the radio program, they want to know, okay, let's get into the action. The process. How do we go about it now?
So the process is very simple. You go online, you go to www.ceo.com. That's the website. If you look on there, you'll find the application process. Everything is done online. And the idea is that if you look on the website, you have all of the information in terms of how the program works. There's examples of this is what a good CV, a coherent CV looks like. Here are some examples of letters of application. We are encouraging people to be as transparent as possible. What's your vision? Where did it come from? What's your experience in putting this application together? Have you benefited from that as a first step, if you like? Be very clear about how the NCP can help you get from where you are now to where you want to go. So there's a gap. I have a vision. I want to be solving a problem in the global economy so that I can deliver value to Oman. I'm currently working in whatever. I need some help to transition from if you like, a managerial experience to one which says I can create innovation at grand scale. So we're very clear how our investment in you turns into delivering value for Oman.
Awesome. That's really great. Why can we be confident NCP3 will deliver new value to the economy?
Because we're building on the, if you like, the proof that we've got from NCP1 and NCP2. So we've proven these propositions. We can create innovation and a community of shared leadership practice around innovation. NCP1, NCP2, we can work with sponsor organizations in strategic sectors to really bring innovative solutions at a sector level. So that's the NCP2 proposition. We have what I think is our first Uber arising from NCP2. So an organization that says we're looking at our global niche in a way that says we think we can challenge the big players in that niche in a way that they're going to find totally surprising. They don't even know that we're coming. They don't know where Oman is. They don't know what a sultanate is. And we're about to take their world away from them in the sense of their dominance of that sector. We're going to really go in and say, look, we can do something as well as you can at a lower cost, on a faster basis, because we understand technology and we have a vision. We have a sense of creating something which is going to create or deliver a better quality of life. And we can do all of that, and we don't have to leave Oman to do it, because we know how this world works. We know how to use technology to achieve that global transformation.
MashaAllah. Richard, I can tell you one thing, that this program is definitely transforming the education, and it will definitely transform great leaders in the country, inshallah. It is definitely an amazing program. Something that is, as I like the word that you use, practical, and that's what we need today. We need more practical than more of the theory. Let's get people out there, action to transform Oman into a great economy, inshallah. Thank you very, very much for joining us today on Oman Radio FM 90.4 to share about the NCP program that is specifically introduced to build the next generation leaders. I would like to take this opportunity to wish you and thank you the very best and success in all that you do, inshallah.
Thank you very much indeed. And I'm just going to finish by saying to everyone listening, this is my final encouragement. www.ceo.com. Put your application in. We need your talent. Let your talent show. Together, you are going to deliver the new Omani economy. We're just going to give you some of the tools to do so.
Inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our program for this week. I hope you all had an intriguing time with us. Let us catch up again next week on Tuesday, same time, 5 p.m. for an impact session. I'm Tariq Hilal Al-Barwani, along with our studio engineer, DJ Safiya, wishing you all a happy and a pleasant week. Ma'as salama.